I am Emily Jayne, and I'm a local Duluth musician. I also do artwork and a lot of other things, but I am a singer and keyboardist, pianist.
It all sounds very artistic and very interesting. So, obviously, you made your debut on the playlist not too long ago. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that? Was it fun? Was it entertaining? Was it everything you hoped it to be and more?
Yeah, it was my first time on the playlist, first time on TV, actually. It was fabulous. It was a great amount of fun. And I had other musicians work with me, which I've kind of been swapping in and out musicians. When I recorded my CD, I worked with all of these guys that played with me on the playlist. And it was just, they're really great guys, and they're really supportive of, doing my music. And so it was just a really good experience to have their energy and the staff's energy. An awesome experience.
And I can verify that. That was an amazing performance, and I really did enjoy it. I quite enjoyed the little antlers that everybody was swapping around. So that was
fun. We're kind of like to have the goofy side show too. So not a lot of my lyrics are really serious and really deep, and that's only part of me. I like to be silly too. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's always good, right?
Yep, definitely.
So, from the way you're making it sound, you do more solo work. Is that true?
Not out of necessity, possibly. The way it works is I write all the songs. They're my songs, and then for a couple years I was working with the drummer Tyler Dubla and guitarist Travis Crotto, and we would arrange the songs, and that's how they appeared on the CD. That's how we're performing them. When I could book us as the trio, I would, and then if I couldn't, depending on everybody's schedule, I'll just do the songs by myself.
Okay.
So that's the basic gist, and now I'm playing with different people coming in and out, but it depends on who I can line up on whether I'm performing as a band or as.
So you're very versatile in that.
I try to be, yes. It is something I have to address, though, when somebody, requests, can you play? I have to say, do you want to book me or the band?
Well, I'm sure that it's good either way.
I like it.
All right. So, obviously you said that you're a keyboardist. Was that your original instrument that you wanted to go out on, and how did you get started in it?
Yes, it is my primary instrument. I got started, actually, when I was, 14. I wanted to play a song that was popular at the time that was, had a nice piano and a piano part, and I had a piano in my home. And my family's very musical, but I hadn't had any training other than just a regular public school choir and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I figured out. I wrote out. I bought the sheet music. I wrote out all the notes. I figured out all the keys on the piano, and I spent 4 months learning that piece. And it just kind of grew from there. Then I wanted to play, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, and so I did the same thing with that one and wrote out all the notes and taught myself to the correlation of what notes represent on the keyboard. And when I was a senior in high school, I thought, okay, I'm going to be going to school for music. That's what I want to go, So I have to get some training because I was worried I wouldn't be able to hack it, at a music school if I didn't have some training. And I knew, my fingering technique was not proper. And so when I was a senior, I did take a couple months of classical piano training. Then I went to college, Berklee College of Music, where I was actually a vocal performance major. I didn't do piano or keyboard. I did vocal performance, so I got a lot of training in vocal technique and things like that in college. So it's kind of the story of, it's kind of a long story, but self-taught really is the gist.
So when you were younger, did you ever have aspirations of putting out a CD or becoming an artist?
Yes, absolutely. like I said, my family is very musical. Nobody is a professional, but just kind of, as a hobby on both sides. So I was really exposed to music just constantly. From as long as I can remember, from as young as I can remember, I wanted to be a singer, a performer. But I was really shy. It was a really, really big effort to get myself up there performing, but I had to kind of do a pep talk and, okay, if you're going to do this, you need to do this and get up on stage. So, but I knew from an early age that that's what I wanted to do. I just had to convince myself that I had to get over a lot of my shyness, which I feel like I've done an adequate job now. I don't get nervous at all anymore unless it's like I got a little bit nervous when I was on the playlist, but
when you sit down to write a song, do you sit down and write it out, or do you just kind of let it come to you organically, or is it, based off of what somebody else said and you're like, oh, that's a cool idea, I'll put that into a song?
Oh, everything. A lot of it is little nuggets of life, just, something that I share between, one of my friends and I, and, we made this joke or whatever, or something I see happen, even on TV. I'll just, whatever little nugget that, strikes a chord with me, no pun intended, I'll write down and jot down. And when I sit down to write, I almost exclusively come up with just kind of fiddle around on the keyboard, and I'll just play it repeatedly until a melody starts coming out in my head. And a lot of times the lyrics aren't there. A lot of times I'll just make nonsense syllables just to kind of fill up the spaces, and until I get a melody solidly down over the chords, and then I'll try and fit words into it. Is typically how it goes. I sometimes give myself little challenges, like, I want to write in F sharp this time, or I want to make sure I hit, every note somehow, the chromatic scale. Just little challenges for myself too, or time signatures, or just little things that I just want to give myself a little extra challenge. I kind of make it into a goal. So
you sit down at the keyboard first, let that come out, and then fill it in with whatever lyric would fit best. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
All right. That seems like a kind of reverse role from other people that I've talked to. They're like, oh, I'll write the lyrics first and then go in and fill it in with music. So.
Yeah, I do hear that a lot. And it does become, it has been problematic at times, because I have this, there's some times where I just have this music and I just play it and play it. And I might even get a melody, but the lyrics don't seem to want to come. And so I do struggle with that at some times, and I just let it go. It's creative, it's art, and it'll come when I'm inspired. So I just am patient.
So you were speaking that you do other art as well, and what kind of mediums are we talking about? Painting?
My primary love is drawing, and for the longest time I did charcoal, or black and white portraiture. I love drawing faces and hands. And then a couple years ago, was it last year? Within the last couple years, I got into marker drawing, which is, I actually did the cover of my CD. I drew that, and that's kind of my new style. It's a marker, very vector graphic style. But it definitely drawing, colored pencil too. I really enjoy doing colored pencil. I do tattooing as well. I don't have a shop or anything, but it's kind of all the drawing, tattoos drawing, all of those kind of genre, whatever medium. But I don't really paint. I have, but I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I like the control. I like the control that drawing mediums allow you.
Mm-hmm. Well, fun. Do you want to talk about your album cover at all, this latest one that you've put out?
Blue Plate Fellows, yeah. The artwork?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is, I'm trying to think. It's me, and I portrayed myself as a waitress. The two men that I was talking about, Tyler and Travis, who helped me arrange the songs, they're actually on the reverse. I drew them in this marker style too. It was, I think, I'm trying to remember it. It was, a year ago that I drew it now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did the CD layout, which is a heart like a anatomical heart.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these songs were about different men in my life. A lot of them, for whatever reason, sometimes the bad stuff is easier to focus on. So a lot of it is sort of man-hating, or man. You can tell that I have mixed feelings about it. But not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I call them. They're my fellows, and they're different people. And my car, I have one on there about my car that is also a thorn in my side in the winter. But so he earned himself a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really fun. There's a little bit of like with the anatomical heart, that there's the gory side to it, but it's not graphic at all. I just like the the kind of sweetness of a pretty face and a nice little waitress dress, and then there's this knife and this heart. That's just me.
Well, when I saw that, I had to do a double take on it and look at it for a while and try to understand what was going on, but then I just accepted it and moved on.
Yeah, I haven't really asked around to see how people perceive it, or what their interpretation of it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. I have to ask around to see what.
Well,
yeah, I just kind of I had the concept and I just did it, and so yeah, I'll have to ask around.
And then if all else fails, you can just say it's art.
Yeah, exactly. if nobody gets it, it's just art.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But no, that was actually a very good drawing, and I look forward to seeing more from you. And speaking of that, do you have anything in the works, a tour or another CD, singles maybe?
Yes, I am going to be working with a new drummer, and we are just getting in the early phases of recording just some new singles right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing right now.
Any tidbit on those, like what they're about or anything like that, or do you want to keep it under lock and key?
Oh, definitely. I'm keeping it secret right now.
All right. Darn.
I will say that one of the songs that we did on the playlist is not on the CD. The middle song we did, Sweet Escape, and that one is going to be recorded. So that's going to be one of them.
Well,
there you go, a little bit.
All right. Well, I look forward to that one. And do you have a Facebook page or website people can look you up for?
Yes, I do both. I have EmilyJayne.com, Emily, Jayne, my Jayne with a Y. And I have Facebook, same thing. I have an artist page under Emily Jayne.
Mm-hmm.
So people can find me. It's on my website.
Any touring up here in the Northland?
Not so much. I have been just doing Duluth gigs right now. I am, like I said, trying to record right now, and then as I release things, then I'll be booking more gigs after that, just to kind of follow up. I like to concentrate on one thing at a time.
Okay, and those will be released by Facebook or website, so people can check those out.
Great, yeah, definitely will be posted on all of my everything. So.
All right, well, thank you so much, Emily, for calling in, and I look forward to seeing your new stuff and seeing you out and about.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me to talk on your show.
No problem. Have a good night, Emily, and good luck recording.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.